What is a lumberjack?
Lumberjack is a man that society never sees. But without him, society can't exist.
Without us, they freeze. They don't pass notes in class. They don't sit down in a nice comfy chair. No. Without us, they're pretty uncomfortable.
Do you find that you make your own rules, that you live differently than you would if you were in society?
Sure, yeah. I mean, out here, it's the rule of the woods, you know? And it's our own society. It's our own society apart that helps your society to live, you know?
People complain about deforesting in regards to the lumber industry, and I gotta admit, it's fairly barren around here. I mean, how do you respond to this criticism?
I think deforestation is just a new buzzword that they have. You see, trees cut down. I see a job well done out here.
You look around, that tree there, that's like 200,000 toothpicks, and this one here is like, what, 52 reams of paper. It definitely is a rite of passage, becoming a man, There are certain things, we don't like to speak about them to folks that haven't gone through them, but they involve bark and sap and things like that, but you come out of it cleansed, but sticky and cleansed too.
Was the choice of this job where you get to go off by yourself and make your own rules and create your own moral compass, was this a rejection of how you had been brought up, or a rejection of the rules that you had been taught, the societal mores that you had been made to live by up until your choice to come out here?
I think I chose this job mostly because they don't do any background checks.
Say someone were to kill someone out here. Would you sort that out yourselves, or would you go back to some municipality and let them decide who was right or who was wrong?
What happens in the woods stays in the woods.
Have you ever killed somebody?
Yeah.
What or who do you hate?
Liberals. They sit at home and they smoke their dope, but they don't realize that the paper they use to roll their joint, I helped make.
What do you hate?
What do I hate? I hate the earth firsters, okay? Those guys and those like hairy chicks who come out here and they put spikes in the trees like it's like a joke, like it's some cute thing they're gonna do to break some tools maybe. Let me tell you, okay? You don't know what happens when somebody hits one of those things. My Uncle Pete hit one of those spikes with a chainsaw, right? And it was like the tree, like a bomb went off. The whole tree went up and the splinters were everywhere. Everybody got covered. The spike exploded like shrapnel, and it punched through his chest in 8 places and went straight through him and hit 3 more guys. And they were rushed to the hospital, but we had to find Pete's leg first because it got sheared off because the chain on the chainsaw, ripped off and it just wrapped around his spine like 3 times, not his torso, his spine. It went through, right? And we had to just use that to drag him because he had no limbs, and we put him in the car and they put the limbs in the other car and it was all screwed up because the one car didn't know where the hospital was, and we had the ice, but we had the body, and they had the limbs and they had no ice, and we got Pete to the hospital, but they said they could have saved the limbs, but the limbs ended up going to the Quickie Mart because they had to go pick up ice, and by the time they got the ice and the Paps, because they needed to get Paps, and then the limbs got to the hospital, it was too late, it was just too late.
If you could punch someone in the face and nothing would happen, who would you be punching?
Hillary Rodham Clinton. Yeah.